Turn 1 podcast. How the devil are you all? You're good. It's the podcast about F1. And it's a special one because it's the British Grand Prix. And joining me, as always, is Lard, Henry, and Will. I don't know why I said it in that order, but it is in that order this week. Gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
How the devil?
Good evening.
How the devil are you all? You're good.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, thanks. I'm good. One last thing before I continue. If any of you heard episode 9, if any of you downloaded episode 9 from Podomatic/iTunes, you may have heard this. That's the metronome from Keynote, not from Keynote, from GarageBand that decided to stay on 3 times when I took it off. So I'm apologies, I can't undo that. If you want to listen to the unmetronome version, go to YouTube channel, episode 9 is up there without any problems. And I'm being forced into starting this session. Wow. So, Austria. What a race. What a race. Let's talk about it.
It was amazing, wasn't it, considering how bad France was and the rest of the season has been?
It was, wasn't it? Is that it? Is that it? Is that all we're going to say?
What a race!
What a race.
Honestly, I mean, when you consider, as I say, how the rest of the season has been so far, apart from Bahrain, it has been... No, that was a shot in the arm that Formula One needed. Plenty of overtaking, plenty of battles. I mean, the battle for the lead. Yes, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's good for the sport.
Just have to go
That's what the
balanced.
sport needed. I think Max well deserved the race win.
Max did, didn't he?
It was a stunning effort.
So, this is the first time we've played F1 2019. Well, I have anyway. I don't know about Will and Will, but Will certainly hasn't. He's been doing some of the extra videos for Turn 1 in regards to his career mode, which you can check out at YouTube. But yeah, it was definitely it was a race that F1 that needed to give a boost in the arm to, really, didn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those ones where, you know, coming off the back of France, it was especially good to see what a difference not only does a track make, but the way the temperature and the weather was made as well, because that's what helped do Mercedes in.
Yeah.
Was sheer heat.
Overheating of a car. Who would have thought that it was Mercedes' fundamental weakness?
I don't know. It's been on the cards 2 years running. Singapore, always been a weak circuit. Bahrain, not always been the best either.
You found it's always been because I think they set it up so much that the cars don't rely on that much cooling because they're so used to being out front. I think that could be the thing.
It's the altitude as well, isn't it, Austria?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very thin. And it doesn't help. But then again, the argument was, you know, you design your car for the whole season, not one race or one set of tracks.
Yeah.
Apart from the front wheel Hamilton had, you've got to say, what, had it been 3rd and 4th?
Yeah.
So, really, it wasn't that bad. But the race out front was definitely the future of F1 we want to see.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, how did I... I'm quite lucky with that. So it looks like it's definitely a 3-way race. I've still got to get my badge sorted out because at the minute I'm just a low wolf. I couldn't set up. I couldn't do any setups or anything. Darn you guys.
I didn't have a setup either. I just looked at it and went, oh, okay, here we go.
Oh dear, cough. Excuse me, sorry. The dreaded cough is back.
I mean, the big talking point, obviously, from Austria was the move that Verstappen did on Leclerc, which people are going, oh, same sort of penalty that Vettel had in Canada. It's like, no, I'm sorry, you're wrong there because it's two different things. You
Yeah.
know, obviously the one with Vettel in was because he went off the road and came back dangerously, whereas that one was a maneuver that forced Leclerc off the road.
Yeah.
Which is fair, in my opinion, on that one. So that's how it's different.
I honestly thought it was a fair. Wow. I honestly thought it was a fair race, fair move. I didn't think it was a penalty at all. But I know one thing. I was re-listening to some of the podcasts because I have that much time between lessons every now and then, just to make sure that the audio's all fine. And apart from the fact my mic is away a lot, and I've got to move that closer to my mouth, I was listening to the fact that Henry made a good point after Canada, which was about the stewards and decisions and how it should be left until the end of the race. Can the stewards are everyone's public enemy number one, really, aren't they? Because they can't get it right. They did that for Austria. It took 3 hours, but it was a case of they just couldn't get it right. Everyone blames them for being too long. Well, surely that's their job, is to make sure they get the right decision.
Exactly. I mean, if you're going to say, okay, leave it to the stewards till after the race and let them do their job and let them make sure of it. Whereas, people were complaining, oh, they shouldn't have, handed that penalty out to Vettel during the race. It's like, well, as you say, they can't win.
No.
They just cannot win.
I don't know. I mean, the reason it apparently took so long is because they were waiting for the drivers to say their piece about the accident, right?
Right.
So the press, this, that and the other, and, that comes first because of telly and various contract commitments. However, why are the stewards listening to the drivers when Charles Ferguson say Max pushed me off the road, and Max Verstappen going to say I didn't touch him? What was the point in listening to the drivers, quite honestly? Therefore, they didn't need to wait till after the race. Therefore, they could have made the decision in the race, like they did with the Vettel penalty. They got all the data, they got onboards, they got everything they needed. If they really needed a word with the driver, it should be done before the podium. So when people get to the podium, that is the podium. Unless, somebody's found to have an illegal car in the park permit when they get round to doing that. The podium should not change after it's been,
announced.
Yeah. So, just build in 10 minutes before the podium because the drivers need to cool down as well, which I don't have enough time to. If an accident like occurs, good. And decide it in that 10 minutes. They've got enough time to look at all the data in that time, like they did with the Vettel penalty.
Yeah.
Why did it need to take twice as long as the race to decide a 2-3 second accident?
That's extremely true. Michael Passett one, thank you very much for the host, buddy. You have got some valid points, but maybe they were aware of what happened with Canada and they didn't want to cock it up.
Again, though, it's not consistency, is it? You either make the decisions on the time or you wait 4 hours, 3 hours. At the end of the day, the stewards could be appealed afterwards if it was that wrong. But really, you got people waiting so long for a result, and it ruins the race. It took what was a really good race and dragged it on and dragged it on. And I remember everybody in the Discord was just like, "Well, what's happening?"
Yeah, I know there were some fake posts about, weren't there, on Discord about Vettel getting... not Vettel, Verstappen getting a penalty, weren't there?
Yeah. But we shouldn't be having to wait 3 hours for a result which happened 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
That can't be right.
Especially for what turned out to be just an innocuous move in the first place. It was very fair.
Yeah. Why did it need to be investigated, really?
Yeah.
Board, Max doesn't steer to the left and push Leclerc off. Leclerc doesn't actually steer into Max. Racing incident, no damage done. Decision made. No penalty.
I didn't know you put down, by the way, didn't know you put down ERS as manual.
It wasn't the other one.
No, I had it
28.
as auto.
Oh. I had it as manual on 2018 as well.
That's all right. I'll get used to it. Henry, you're being a bit quiet. What do you think, buddy?
It shouldn't
And that's
have
Henry.
taken 3 hours. It shouldn't have taken 3 hours to get to that decision. You know, whether they, you know, if they're waiting to speak to the drivers, why do they need to speak to the drivers? Because they've got extra camera views that we can't see. You know, like Will said, they've got all the data and everything else. It shouldn't take 3 hours to get to the decision. So, you know, they need to be more consistent, don't they? If they're going to give out penalties, it needs to be instant, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know,
Within so many laps.
Yeah, say within 5-10 laps or whatever, you know, here's the penalty, bang. They can then, the teams can deal with it then.
Because it does ruin the race. I think it did take a bit of the luster off the race, you know, having to wait for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, Lard, it's probably the best race we've had all season.
Definitely.
And then we had that over it for 3 hours. And it was like, okay.
Yeah, it does take the edge off that when you're just waiting that long to be told what you already knew.
Yeah.
Because the celebrations on the podium were a bit muted as well, weren't they?
Exactly. Because nobody knew what was going on, did they? That's the,
Well,
you know.
Leclerc was annoyed anyway because he, you know, no matter what he said at Silverstone pre-show, saying, "Oh well, you know, I like that sort of racing, more of that." It's like he was annoyed. He wasn't happy at that time. So, you know, I do think that's a little bit hypocritical of him to come out and say that after he was pissed off that he lost. But
you would be though, wouldn't you? To be fair,
you would be annoyed. Hell yeah, you know. But to come out and go and oh well, I like that sort of racing afterwards, just seems a little bit two-faced, you know.
I wonder if we're getting the Hamilton thing with Leclerc, sort of over PR'd era where, you know, you can't say anything too drastic here or there, which ruins the sport. The characters have sort of, well, not gone, but, you know, muted, I guess.
You need honest people, don't you, as well, in the sport? You just need people to be honest and just go, like Nicky Lauda. You just want somebody like that, don't you?
Could that be Ferrari's input, though? Could that be something that Ferrari have ingrained into him?
Because Sebastian's quite vocal, isn't he, really?
Yeah.
Especially recent races, he's been like, well, qualifying's been terrible. Or this, that, and the other. He's been quite honest, but Leclerc seems to be, you know, keeping the line, which, you know, fair enough, it's up to him. That is up to him.
Yeah.
If he's been managed for media like Hamilton was, which is why Hamilton's considered very unpopular, you know, is it going to affect his career later down the line?
He's probably still trying to find himself, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? He's probably trying to find out what he can and can't say, because obviously he's gone straight to a big team, hasn't he, in essence, from Sauber, where he wasn't in the limelight. And nobody would not listen to him, but nobody would batter an eyelid at him unless he did a good race, and then everybody be saying, oh, he's done a good race, he's done this, he's done that, or done the other. But now he's in the limelight, so to speak. He's obviously just trying to be careful what he can and can't say. I just say, let them say what they want to say.
Yeah, like Grosjean, like Gunter Steiner, like Magnus. That's got that right. You know, apologise afterwards if you've said something rash, but, you know, out. That's what we want to see. I don't know. Again, I think it just, like, they had to go at Leclerc for being like that, and I thought, again, even just
just leave him alone. You know, he's probably angry after the race. Just, he's going to say things, you know, sarcastic or angrily. Just take it with a pinch of salt. Or, you know, leave the drivers. You don't interview the drivers for, say, half hour after a race when they've all calmed down.
Yeah.
Seeing the incidents themselves. And then, you know, then interview them.
Because Vettel was praised for moving the position boards, wasn't he, at Canada?
Yeah.
He was.
That was emotion, and that was brilliant viewing. Whoever you were, whatever sort of fan you were, that was amazing to see. And it made the race, you know, more controversial, more interesting. There is a story in F1, but they just seem to be like boring races, and the drivers can't say anything about it.
Yeah, it's true. Henry, first update of the chat, please, buddy.
Michael Patterson says, I agree with Will's toy clearance on the consistency issue regarding the stewards. But then, do they, with the stewards, do they just appoint 3 permanent stewards that go to every race, or do they just have a select, say, 6 for, say, North and South America, 6 for Asia, and 6 for, say, Europe?
Yeah,
And then rotate them like that.
it's gone back to the consistency, isn't it? From when we talked about it with the Canada/France.
I'll say what Crofty said before he did ask Crofty, and he obviously said this as an F1 fan. Okay, so he said he wouldn't have given Vettel a penalty. Ricardo, he wouldn't have given Ricardo a penalty for the Lando Norris overtake, but he would have given him a penalty for the Kimi move. But he wouldn't have given Max a penalty.
I agree with all those decisions as well.
So I think what he's trying to say is is promote overtaking, isn't it? I suppose.
Thing is, though, the drivers have dug themselves into this hole. The teams have dug themselves into this hole with the political side of things. So that's why we're in this situation, really, isn't it? Because the teams couldn't agree on things. Then the regulations all came in. Then they found loopholes in the regulations. Then they eliminated those loopholes. So when
like you say, it's like the drivers wanted rules put in place. They put the rules in place, and now the drivers are saying, well, maybe you need to clarify the rules.
Yeah.
Maybe in the season they just need to sit down and just clarify what each rule is there for, or like bullet points. So when it's getting reported by Sky or Channel 4, BBC or whoever, they can go, oh, this is why they've gone for it. They've said it means this,
And
then
they should be left more open as well to interpretation. Therefore, the stewards can be more lenient.
Yeah.
Which again makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask a question in relation to the game. Lard, where the hell are you, buddy? I realise I'm in P2.
I had a problem and flew off the road.
Oh, did you have a ball?
It wasn't quite a Grosjean, but it was close enough.
Oh, Grosjean. The driver we all love. The driver we all love. That's all I'm going to say.
So you're out of the race?
Till later on.
Yeah.
So are you out of the race?
No, I'm still in the race. I'm just at the back.
Ah.
Come on, Lard. You can win this. Come on. Let's get a hashtag going in the chat. Come on, Lard.
T-power.
On the Max Verstappen move, I think what was, I won't say confusing the stewards, but the lap before they both got round safely, yeah. And then the lap after, because obviously Max has decided to brake a little bit later. He's obviously missed the apex. He's turned in. He does let go of his steering wheel a little bit, but he doesn't actually physically turn into Charles. Jolyon Palmer on his BBC thing said that it could have gone either way. I know Christian Horner did say they got lucky that race.
Right.
But would any of you give it as a penalty?
No.
Because is that you?
Yep.
Well done, Grosjean.
Alan Grosjean.
I wouldn't have given it a penalty because for me doing hello, who's distracting me? Yasser's hosting me. Thank you very much for the host, Yasser. And that makes me go a little bit wide. That's fine. There we go.
Michael Patterson, you've done it wrong, mate. You've done it wrong. I'm not, that's what I'm going to say. I'm not saying anything else.
I as a guy who I've raced in the past, not proper professional. I've raced with a lot of friends. We used to do quite a bit of race weekends with go-karting. Every now and then you need a bit of muscle to get someone out of the way, and I've done something similar to get to podium positions. As I'm approaching turns, you take the inside line and you use a bit of muscle to go for it. And it's tyre on tyre. You've seen it race in, race out in the past in Formula One. So it's not to the point. There was no damage on either car. It was just tyre on tyre. So I think that the Verstappen move was fine.
Yeah.
My point is, why didn't Leclerc defend the inside line? Max had gone there once. It was quite obvious he was going there.
Maybe because he knew the game was up.
Or do you not expect him to be there? Maybe he thought he was too far back, so he wouldn't make the move or attempt the move.
Well,
It's Max Verstappen, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, but Max Verstappen this year is different to the Max Verstappen of last year, if that makes sense.
yeah, he's not
gonna
last
win
of the
the
late
bet.
breakers, is it?
Yeah, he's drawn a lot better this year.
For the win, you're going to go for it, right?
Oh, of course you are.
Both teams have not got a win at this point, and the pressure was on both of them, really.
Well, I'd say more so on Ferrari rather than Red Bull. People were writing off Red Bull with the Honda partnership, and McLaren fan even. I'll hold my hand up and congratulate Honda and Red Bull on that victory. There's no animosity between what happened as a failed partnership between Honda and McLaren. It's great to see Honda win. It's great to have that fourth constructor pick up a win.
Yeah, it was good, and the fact that he pointed to the Honda badge, Max, when he was on the podium.
And they
on
said
the
that
thing.
the Honda engineer, didn't they? The chief.
They did.
Yes, there's a story about that. They couldn't find him at first. That's why he joined later on in the.
That's why there was only 3 on the podium for about a minute.
Yeah,
and a half.
they couldn't find him. He disappeared.
I did wonder.
Well, Sky was saying he probably had an emotional moment, which you can understand.
Yeah.
13 years, wasn't it? 13 years since they
Yeah.
last won a race.
Hungary 2006, they were saying.
Jensen
Button.
It's a button, yeah.
Yeah. Honda's only win.
But it wasn't
Yeah.
flawless, was it? We had the issue with Max at the start line.
But was that more Max though? I mean, I don't know. Was that more maybe Max not getting the biting point? Was that engine? Was that clutch?
I don't know, because we'll come later today, but we had turbo lag on the Red Bull for qualifying to make,
Yeah.
though he's fast, still not quite reliable in the sense of performance. Like, he's not going to blow up, but
But they just dropped performance.
he's still also in the race go into a mode where he had low power.
Tracker, there's a question here for you
Go
from
on.
Michael Patterson. From Michael Patterson, okay?
All right.
He said, McLaren flan, what ingredients are in that tracker? F1 inspired recipes are the future.
Oh, that just made me crash.
Well done, Michael Patterson, you've done your job.
In
It's
the
all
pit
right.
lane as well.
I came out of the
You
pit
did.
lane. I crashed at Abbey. So,
Still where
well,
Lard went
Village.
off.
I crashed
that's
at
where I
Village.
went off, yeah.
So yeah, I'm on the hangers. I'm on Wellington now. So, what ingredients? Well, bit of
How are you
everything.
finding the new-
Answers on the postcard. Sorry, go on, Will. Sorry.
How are you finding the new game? You like it?
I do. I'm
It looks a lot better
I
already.
tell you what, the traction's a lot better. I'm not fighting the car as much as I did with it from 2018. I thought 2018 was a pig to drive. This has been a lot more reliable. Yes, I've crashed into the wall, but that's the first time I've crashed. I like it a lot. Lard?
It is looking very pretty. I tried the time trial at Bahrain, and that looks stunning.
Wow.
Handling, I'm finding at the moment a little bit harder than 18, especially to actually pick up my pace.
Understeering, apparently the devs have put in to make it more realistic,
Yeah,
which
which
you
is
know,
why it took me off.
Mm.
I must rely on a lot of understeer then, because I seem to be doing all right. He says. Famous last words.
get ready for the crash, guys.
Here it
Well, it's
comes.
different driving styles, isn't it? Really, because you
Yeah.
know, Will knows I'm a bit more precise with my and liking to brake late with being able to turn straight afterwards. So
I tend to roll through the corners. Obviously, you know I've been messing with my setup.
Yeah.
I do. I'm flat through the first corner, but Maggots and Beckett's is insane to try and get flat. Keep going off, so I'm not doing it on this.
No, I can't get Maggots and Beckett's flat.
yeah,
Although I will try and get Cops flat if I can get behind Clark, whoever Clark is. Late break. Got him. Got him. Perfect. P3.
Great maneuver. You made it look easy.
So yeah, I think the Austria race was very good.
Yeah. Out of 10.
Yeah.
Well, no, before we do the out of 10s, I think
Okay, gap ahead is
haven't really
6.7
talked about
seconds.
Idiot of the Week too much, but I have got an Idiot of the Week, and it might be controversial.
Okay.
Hamilton.
Why?
He broke his front wing, unforced error, turn 1. That's why he ended up with a pit stop with 11-second pit stop to replace his front wing.
By just going slightly offline.
Yeah. No one else did it in the
not
race. No one else did it in the race. All 20 cars finished.
But then Mercedes did do the quickest nose change.
So he finished P5. That's not where you see a Mercedes, really, is it?
No,
Particularly
but
the World Championship leader.
I don't think Mercedes would have been up there, even if he hadn't broken his wing. To be honest, I think it was just one of those tracks which didn't suit the packaging of their car, and the attitude, as we've said, didn't really help either.
In that respect, then I say Leclerc is idiot of the week because he didn't take the line right defending against Verstappen.
And if you're going for damage, it'd be Lance Stroll because he did the front wing in every session.
All I'm doing is throwing out a different name because Hamilton hasn't been on there, and let's face it, he damaged
about
it in a crucial part of the race.
What about Verstappen for spinning out
On a race,
in
And the
No.
start, yeah.
that stuff, or was it free practice free when he dropped it at the last corner?
FP2,
And
Yeah.
Bottas and
Yeah.
Vettel. Yeah.
I know who my idiot is.
Oh, Oh, how
I'm
about
saying-
this
Because mine
time?
was Bottas.
How about this time we leave it to the chat? See if the chat come up with an idiot of the week.
Yeah.
Chat, you guys are watching. Out of the drivers that were on that finished the Grand Prix in Austria, who is your idiot of the week for Austria?
And you can't say tracker. That's not allowed.
You can say Will's toy clearance.
It's okay. I'm only 40 seconds ahead. It's
That's fine by me. I've got a comfortable second place at the minute.
No.
Oh, if I can help Lard.
Yeah, you try it, mate. You try it.
Anyway,
I'm
my
going to
idiot
say
of the
this.
week
This is
was,
actually a circuit I've driven in real life. IRL. And I loved every minute. 120 miles an hour down the Hanger Straight. It was bloody awesome.
But did you remember your clutch?
This is F1
Mr.
20.
Driving instructor. Mr. I teach this and I forgot my own clutch.
Yeah. I was in an Aston Martin V8 Vantage, so of course I had to remember my clutch. Manual gearbox.
Ooh, did you see the Aston Martin Valkyrie go around today?
Oh, yes.
Oh, that was a Polaroid moment. Oh.
We've got a lot of flaw going on. Flaw. It's all about the flaws.
And the chat is very quiet.
Come on, chat. Idiot of the week. Give us an idiot.
Michael Patterson said my default response is Grosjean. Idiot of the week. Got to stick with that. We can't even say. We can't even say.
Right.
Well, actually, we could just say Haas in general because they finished slower
Than
than Williams.
Yeah, that's why Magnussen's mine. That was terrible.
Oh, we can go with Haas. Well, we've got to go with a driver, haven't we? We always said idiot of the
Magnussen,
week
then.
has got to be a driver.
Magnussen, then surely,
Yeah,
because Magnussen was slower than a Williams.
Russell actually beat him by like 16 seconds. I mean, that's trancing, that is.
It's time to use some of this charge.
Did you just hear that on the radio now?
What?
George Russell is quicker than you. Or even worse, Kubica is faster than you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
I'm not dissing Kubica, but when he did the Renault, when he did the when he did the Renault test at Hungary, his fastest lap was nearly a second slower than I think it was Palmer's qualifying lap when he qualified like 14th,
Right.
and he was like 9 tenths slower on the same set of tyres. Obviously, we don't know about fuel loads and whatever else, but he was 9 tenths slower. That was a couple of years ago, and that's why they let him go.
Will is pumping in fastest lap after fastest lap after fastest lap on this.
Michael Patterson said it is a bit rich in capital letters to say Haas drivers are idiots of the week. That obviously is the big news story later on.
That'll be part 2, definitely.
Because we forgot to mention something in Canada, didn't we?
In Canada.
About that. In Canada, about that. Yes.
We did. So it's going to be part 2.
Part 2.
Part 2, yeah.
Nice move, Lard. Nice move.
Thank you. Let me know when you need to go by and I'll move over.
Whereabouts are you? On the
We'll
circuit?
wait till the hangar straight, dude. You carry on.
Straight, right. I'm on Abbey.
Oh, no.
So
You're on Abbey? Who's Abbey?
gosh,
It's
God
Mrs. Tracker
damn.
now.
Oh, I mean,
I'll let you by hangar straight then, dude.
Yeah, and then follow me through. I'm going to send you to victory.
Even though apparently I've ignored the blue flags, even though I knew you were there. And I was saying,
the Immortal Cloud says the technical issues of Drive of the Day. Whoever announced that was the idiot. With a smiling face.
Yes, Robert Kubica was driver of the day, wasn't he? That was
I read somewhere that somebody apologised afterwards about that.
You think all the Dutch fans were just like raising hell?
Sorry, that's got me a giggle, sorry.
Watching Crash now. Now he's got the giggles.
Oh, Christ alive. Get it together, JR. Come on. There we go. Yeah, that was a weird one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I loved, speaking of Austria, I loved Lando Norris's radio call after an overtake. It was getting there. Lando, nice one. Lando, if possible, can you keep Ricardo in your DRS range for as long as possible? Like, you mean forever? I love that bit. I thought that was absolutely brilliant.
Oh, Lando's been doing some great stuff on Twitch as well.
Yeah. And then there's the press conference. Good old Ricardo just set out like a beauty.
I know someone who's met Lando Norris. I was hanging out with her on Saturday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Where's the interview, Lard? Where's the interview?
Yeah, come on.
I was saying about that. Because she's also met Keanu Reeves.
Now you're just name dropping.
No, exactly. No.
Clang, clang.
We're not racing MotoGP. He knows nothing about F1, I imagine. That's not going to help us. You come do
Yeah, no, he does seem like a really cool person, this Lando Norris.
He does.
He does.
If you watch him stream on Twitch, he's just like he doesn't know what to sort of say sometimes. Do you know what I mean? He's kind of like a shy. I'd say shy as well. Do you know what I mean? Like he doesn't say much on Twitch apart from what he's doing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yesterday, he was going into his briefing and he had to finish the stream. He had forgot his pass card to get into the McLaren motor thing.
Oh.
And the door's see-through. He knocks on the door and the engineer inside just goes no at him and doesn't let him in.
At least they're doing their job.
Yeah.
Oh, free wide.
He did one Friday night as well, didn't he? He did like a stream Friday night as well.
Yeah. Did that
And
help?
that Liberty Media needs to sort of look into that maybe.
We'll see drivers doing more streams.
Yeah. Will they or F1 go onto Twitch? Because it's got to be another platform for them do you mean get more viewers in?
Aren't F1 starting to do that more and more often anyway now?
They do the F1 live, don't they, on YouTube?
Yeah.
Mostly the build-up and stuff.
Okay, you're creating some breathing space between you and the car behind by a few
They're really having a go with YouTube, though. We've got pre-race weekend coverage, all the interviews on a Thursday, post-qualifying, post-race, plus all the highlights and stuff from all the practice sessions. You know, they're trying, but
Yeah.
I think
bring
it's so that at
themselves
the end of
up to date.
20. I think it's so at the end of 2024 when Sky's deal elapses. That's going to be it.
F1 TV.
Yeah, F1 TV will take precedence, and it won't be on Sky.
I hope so, though. I really do.
Kind of think how things have happened with WWE Network then, because Sky have lost, or Sky have not renewed their contract with WWE for the first time in 30 years.
It's gone to BT Sport.
And it's
That's-
gone to
BT Sport, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
And then SmackDown in the US has gone to Fox, I
Yep,
believe.
that'll be starting in October. So it sounds to me it's a similar way that Formula One are wanting to do it.
But like Formula One, they're only charging, I think it was £3.50 a month for it.
If that's the case, then I'll definitely get it.
Yeah.
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 I mean, even with inflation, it's going to be less than a £5 a month for every coverage, all past races, all the data and stuff that they can give during the race weekends, different camera angles, different commentators. So you could choose the Sky team or the Channel 4 team in theory at the minute. with
Yeah.
it. Which is, you know, that's a good choice. Alright, anyway, into some.
Choice is always good.
Yeah. Michael Patterson says, I'd like to see Kubica stream and laugh when he's 5 seconds a lap faster in the game than he is in real life. With a laughing face.
Where are you, Lard? Where are you?
Sort of
Just
two
help
cars
me.
behind you, man.
I'm holding them up.
You are. I'm right behind you.
Cool, going
Whereabouts on the track are you two?
for it. That was the
Abby.
first corner.
Happy.
Oh
You still good?
no, I'm getting pushed. Oh, they pushed me around.
I'm on I'm on hanger straight now.
I'm just coming up to pits.
The old pit straight.
Yeah.
You're about half a lap in front. I was going to say behind, but Lard's half a lap behind. You're half a lap in front. I'm on the Silverstone wing now.
Oh yeah, if we're name dropping, my friend is building the staircases to the new Silverstone Hotel. Ah,
Oh, the new Hilton
that
one.
one. Fine craftsmanship too.
This stream's just turned into name dropping now, isn't it? Forget the racing, just forget the name. It's just name dropping now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really has. So, Austria.
Out of 10.
Out of 10, yeah. Let's start with you, Henry.
7.5 out of 10. I think it was a great race.
I'm going to go next because I normally go last. I'm going to go next. I'm going to say a solid 8. Solid 8 out of 10. It was the shot that F1 needed.
There's going to be some races that are boring, aren't there, though, in the calendar?
Yeah.
And there's going to be some that are going to be great. It just turned out that Austria turned out to be a great race.
And Austria
Which-
I don't normally think is a great race, but it did brilliantly.
10 corners, well, 7 corners, 3 are flat out. You
Why
know,
did you say that? They did say on one of the coverages the most unpredictable results have been at Austria for the past few years.
Yeah.
well, I think, like you say, the altitude and I mean, that weekend it was extremely hot out there, wasn't it? Which obviously affected things as well. But the altitude probably makes things a bit more closer than normal.
I mean, it was rumoured Mercedes were lifting and coasting for 600 metres before a corner.
They were doing
Yeah.
that most of the race, though. When you went on board
Yeah.
on board footage, you could hear Hamilton lifting and coasting.
Hamilton said like 400 metres, didn't he? So
Yeah.
400 metres after the race, he was lifting and coasting.
And you got to believe him, to be fair.
Oh, yeah.
And the engines weren't going to be on full whack either, so. And they still came third and fifth.
I think there was.
In my book.
I think there's the issue was altitude and the fact that the way that they packaged the car at the back just meant it just overheating quite quickly. But it's probably going to be the only track where maybe the struggle bar in, say, maybe Mexico. I would think, because that's another one at altitude, isn't it, Mexico?
Singapore, possibly Brazil. Brazil can get warm, humid.
Yeah.
Depends what sort of day you go, I guess.
Luckily, probably when we get to Brazil, it'll probably be like raining. So
So
Hopefully, we do need a cracking rain race.
we
this year.
do.
Yep.
please, Brazil, please.
We haven't had a rain race for a while.
No.
Of course, we've had some wet sessions today. Or a today wet session.
Yeah, FP3 when it was wet was a bit wet, wasn't it? I think.
And nobody went out, or most of it.
Ah, that explains a lot. Out of 10 then, Will.
Keep it up.
Yeah, I'd go a solid 8.
Solid 8. And Lard?
I would go a rather nice 9. I would be much more positive for it.
Nice 9, I like it.
Fair play. Well on, lads.
In the chat, what about you guys? What do you rate the Austrian Grand Prix out of 10? What would you say it'll go? And if possible, if you want to put down why, put down why. It'd be great to hear your thoughts. You are as much of the podcast as my four? There's only 3. 3 regular guests that I have on. I can't count.
Don't want to say anything, Tracker. Unless there's somebody in the chat that we don't know about. That's just like a ghost, like Casper.
The ghost of J-Dub. Oh no.
Goes to J-Dub, yeah.
Or maybe oh god, what's his name? So maybe Saul's here.
What's her name, you mean?
Yeah, well I was thinking of what's his name, that's fine. It's okay.
Waffle.
Waffle, that's it, thank you.
Yeah, where is Waff? He seems to have disappeared off the radar. I've said that out loud on the podcast. Waffle, if you are about,
Waffle.
pop back in and say hi.
Yeah, we miss you, mate.
Hey, he decided to take a break from Twitch.
Has he?
Could have done.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
The Immortal McLeod said it was the best race so far. 9 out of 10.
Nice.
Michael Patterson says an 8 from me.
Yeah.
And he also says, Tracker can count, I can assure everyone of that. So Michael Patterson's sticking up for you here.
Thank you very much, buddy.
He changes, and he two podcasts ago he was sticking up for me. Now he's changed sides. Do you know what I mean? I might have to ban him. I might have to ban him. Do you know what I mean?
You ban him, I ban you. Oh dear. We have good bands here, don't we? We really do.
You got it, haven't you? You got it, to be honest.
We do. We have got 4 laps of this Grand Prix left before we take a well-deserved break. And yeah, I'm enjoying this game. I'm enjoying F1 2019. I'm going to admit it.
I'm coming for a new set of tyres.
You got for a new set of tires. Well, you've got a free stop, haven't you?
Yeah, what do we think to the pit strategy in Austria before we finish with it? Because Ferrari went on the opposite set of tyres, which we'll come on to later. And, well, it's sort of... Well, obviously Leclerc came second and Vettel came 5th? 4th?
4th on it, yeah.
4th. Did that really pay off for them in the end?
Not really. I mean, Vettel is fading already.
I think Vettel's fed up.
I was going to say, I don't think he's in the right frame of mind. I think he's just not interested at the minute, is he? He's just not.
No.
I think he's already on holiday.
Well, qualifying was shocking for both, really. He's doing
I think the lower temperatures didn't help, did it? I think because it cooled down quite a lot, didn't it? From Q2 to Q3, and I think that caught a lot of them out. There's less grip available. But the fact that Ricciardo was 4 tenths behind Vettel says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah. Again, there wasn't much overtaking. So, apart from like a wounded Mercedes or back markers, it wasn't exactly an overtake fest, which we were all hoping for. And didn't Hulkenberg come out and say these cars are even worse than last year's for following?
I don't know.
Yeah, he was quite scathing about it again. It's like, these cars do not follow. So, we've still not got F1 fixed, but that race was definitely a...
Effects of the tyre deg.
It was in the right direction, that race, I tell you.
It
was, wasn't it?
But you will start to find it a bit more slippery out there.
Apparently, tyre deg's going to come in, which is always good. I'm on the hard compound, and I've got tyre deg. That's always a
Oh,
good
you went
thing.
for the one stop.
Yeah, I'm one stop in.
I went to the medium for the one stop.
I need to see what my gap is to the car behind, if I'm honest. And if I can, I'll stop and get another fresh set of boots. 39 seconds. You know what? I think I'll stop for a fresh set of boots.
Maybe I need to turn up the AI next time. This was on 45, I think.
Oh, heck.
50% next time then, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna pit. Or should I pit with 1 lap to go?
Well, I'll go for the fastest lap, see if you can do it.
No, I'm not gonna get the fastest lap, am I, really?
Well, if you box, we need tyres, you've got half a chance of going for it, haven't you?
I'm not gonna go for it.
Increasing our gap on the car behind by around a second a lap.
Whereabouts are you, lad?
Crossing the start-finish straight now.
What position?
P10.
P10. Oh, you're getting a point?
Yep.
Come on, lad.
Will's just pumped in fastest lap of the race. Because that's Will.
So I came in for the new tyres.
I've missed the pit stop, so I'm going on these for the final lap of the race, so it's not bad. Well, I can go up to Rich
Let's
Mix.
turn up the ERS deployment and burn some of this energy. This is your final lap of the race.
Sun nicely coming down on the track now.
It really is, isn't it? I like that. I like the dynamic seasonal changes and stuff like that.
Nice overtake there as well. Double
There's only
overtake.
1 lap of fuel
On the
remaining.
outside.
I've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining. Oh dear.
Ooh, this is going to be close.
Oh no, it's not going to be close. I've got 0.62 of in the tank at the minute over.
Ooh, Magnussen Beckett, come on. Yes, brake, lovely on the accelerator.
I've just gone around Luffield.
Ooh, purple
Oh,
middle.
I'm
Middle.
on National Straight. Bit of brake,
Straight.
tiny bit of brake for cops, bring it around. And we
50s.
head down. And we're going to go into Maggots and Beckett's.
Going out. Start-finish straight now.
Last two corners, last two corners. Whoa!
Be able to ride in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap
I
from
could
the
still take
target.
7th.
Drop down
Come on, lads, come on.
Check your flags gone. Right, I got last person to go. There we go.
Alright.
Club corner.
Nice colours.
There we go. And across the line. Excuse me. Oh, wow.
And
Yeah.
7th place.
Right. There he is. We're now focusing on him. So there's Lard.
There's 6th
He's
ahead.
down the National Straight. Down to Cops. He's aimed towards Maggots and Beckett's. Flipping out. Look at that. That nice car there, isn't it? Going down the
I like
hangar.
these standard cars.
Sorry?
I like these standard cars, the
They-
multiplayer one.
They're good, aren't they? Two DNFs.
You get these on the online races. This is what you get to race.
I like it.
And they do handle differently to the team cars.
There we are. Well done. Good game. GGG.
GG,
Nice recovery.
GG all, GG's.
But I was ninth because of a time penalty.
Oh no.
You got a time penalty.
For what?
Remember that huge pile-up
Oh,
that I got involved in?
oh, I didn't.
Oh.
They
know.
blamed me for it.
Bastards.
FIA.
God's sake, FIA. You had one job, you did it wrong.
Stewards inquiry. But that's a solid start for F1 2019. I don't mind that. Second place, solid second place.
GG, 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 everyone.
GG.
All the G's.
All the G's. There we go. And I've gone up to level...
1?
Well, I've gone from level 1 to level 2 to level 3 to level 4 to level 5.
I'm on level 4.
Online level 5 hype. Like it. So you finished P9 in the end.
Yep, P9.
Look at that. Will's best time was a 132.535. Mine was a 137.036. And Lard, yours was a 136.674.
Yep.
Jesus.
I'm still 7 seconds off a pole time though. That's still a long way off.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the pole was at 124.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll get there though. So I'm just going to hit advance. I think we'll go for a 5-minute break. What do you think, guys? 5 to 9. What do you think? Break time?
Break time.
Break time. Break time. See you in 5 minutes. Have a good one. And for those who've tuned in last week to my normal stream or to this Good Evening Dennis Norden, this one is especially for Nard. Nard.
Who's that?
Roll break. The sound you hear in the background means we have approached 9 o'clock, which means it's only one thing. We're just going to do it straight away. It's the news. Henry, take it away.
Good evening, good evening. Okay, just following on from Austria, Bottas said it was weird how Ferrari always seemed to gain half a second on the straights, no matter the circuit layout. So we all knew that Ferrari had improved their engines, but half a second on a straight, regardless. Do we believe that? Do we think it's less than that, or do you think it's more than that?
Was this Ferrari we're talking about, or
yes?
So
yeah. So Bottas said that doesn't matter what straight Ferrari on, they seem to make half a second.
Sounds a bit like gamesmanship to me from Bottas.
It really does, doesn't it? It's the same kind of gamesmanship as in when Mercedes goes, Ferrari have a chance. Really?
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
I mean,
But
even Williams have got a chance.
yeah, they turned up. That's all they need to do. They've turned up. If there's a big crash, if there's a big crash in front of them, they'll be all right, won't they?
Well, yeah, it's true. So we think
Slow. Go on.
So we think that there's just a bit of, you say, gamesmanship going on with these.
Potentially, but they said that with a tow, Hamilton was losing 0.3 of a second, and Bottas was losing 0.6 of a second. But it doesn't really matter, does it? If Ferrari are making it up in a straight and obviously there's going to be corners, they're going to be losing that time in the corners, aren't they? So swings and roundabouts would be my thing on it. 2021. They have been discussing bringing back refueling.
Oh, God.
They have, haven't they?
I knew somebody was going to do that.
John Todd as well, isn't it? I think that's put that forward.
Yeah, I've not really read too much into it because as soon as I saw it, I was just like,
Oh, Eddie
Really?
Jordan went on about it earlier. It was quite funny.
really? It's not. The reason they stopped it was because of all the fires that were happening in the pit lane.
Yeah.
So I can't
Christian
see it
Horner.
coming back.
Yeah, Christian Horner said he didn't do anything for the race, and it was dangerous. It cost a lot of money to cart the equipment around. Nobody wants it, basically.
No. So I can't see it coming back. I don't know about Lard and Tracker.
No, I don't like it. I've never liked refueling. There was the controversy that happened with Singapore with Renault.
Was that the Massa incident?
Yeah, when the fueling rig just was stuck in his car and he pulled it apart.
No, it was to do with you got the fuel, you got that part, which I've actually got on the screen here, actually. That's quite coincidental. But there's the other part with Singapore when pit stops were banned during safety cars and Nelson Piquet Jr. smashed the car into the wall, and that was during the fueling era.
Oh, Crashgate.
Oh, yeah.
Crashgate.
And that was refueling because Alonso got his fuel in. But
the race.
Yeah. I don't like
race, didn't he?
I don't like refueling.
I don't think it'll come back.
No, I don't see it. Like I said, it's cost too much. It doesn't bring anything to the race. And it's just dangerous.
Hi, Tesla, by the way.
Oh,
Hi,
good evening, Tesla.
Yeah, apparently Tesla. Go on.
It works for other sports, like IndyCar, but for Formula One now.
No.
You'd have to make it like a standard minute pit stop, so it gave plenty of time so they didn't rush it. And then it could still go wrong. So what's the point?
I don't think it'll come back. Tesla said he had to take a 10-minute detour because of Silverstone traffic today. He's absolutely livid about it, apparently.
From the heck.
He also said they talked about it a couple of years ago, but decided against it for health and safety reasons. So basically, it's dead in the water.
Yeah,
dead in the water. The Immortal car actually put no chance, health and safety. So yeah. Obviously, Ricardo has praised Renault this week for not bringing updates to the car and going back on a setup or whatever, and obviously finding more pace because they struggle in Austria, struggle badly. So he's quite happy because he finished P7 today. Is that right in qualifying? P7,
P6.
P6?
No, P7. No, it was P7.
P7. So he's quite happy. He's clearly leading the team now, and he's clearly leading the team. Also at Silverstone today, Adrian Newey's hypercar was revealed. The Aston Martin, I'm going to butcher the name, Valkyrie?
Valkyrie.
Yeah. That looked quite nice on the track.
Then we get a picture of that.
007 branding as well for Red Bull this weekend.
Yeah, because it's the 1007th race or race weekend or whatever they want to call it.
Indeed, and a friend of the channel, Mook, yesterday did an IRL stream from Boston Fan Zone.
Oh, nice.
She did. Yeah,
there is a James Bond part, which is free to go around, but it's ticketed so it doesn't get too cramped, with some really nice looking cars in there. So
yes, it did look good. It did look good.
Yeah. So that should be on their VOD as well, so go and check that out.
Nice. Absolutely. On the screen right now, you've got the Aston Martin Valkyrie. So this is the one that went around the track.
Wasn't that a good one last week?
It wouldn't surprise me if it was.
Aren't they going to enter Le Mans with it?
Wow, that does look nice.
Where are the wing mirrors?
That's a very good question.
I don't know.
That's a very, very good question.
Maybe Adrian Newey's designed it. Maybe Adrian Newey's designed it in such a way that it's going to be at the front of the grid if it's going to be used as a in racing, that it doesn't need wing mirrors.
Trust me to be the first one to think where the wing mirrors. Honestly,
you weren't going to think about the clutch, were you?
Sod off, Will.
Were you on about signals and manoeuvres afterwards?
Sorry?
Were you on about signals and manoeuvres afterwards?
Yeah. I mean, that is a nice looking car. It is a nice looking car.
It is a very, very nice looking car. Shall we talk about the biggest news story of the weekend?
Yes, I'm trying to figure
Because
out
it's-
which one you're going to do.
Yeah,
Rich,
there's two,
rich
really.
energy. Rich energy.
Oh, you're doing the rich energy one. Okay, I thought
Yeah,
you'd
I'm
actually
the rich
do.
energy one. Yeah.
I thought you'd
So-
actually do the Silverstone one, if I'm honest. But
That can come later on.
okay, all right.
So shall we? What do we actually know of what's going on at this moment in time with Rich Energy and Haas?
Well, it was a publicity thing that's gone badly wrong from the sounds of it. The CEO is saying one thing, the rest of the company are saying, oh, no, we didn't say anything like this. It was him doing a rogue tweet.
Rogue tweet?
Yep.
Well, there's I know that White, the company White, this the cycles, aren't they? They're road bikes.
Yeah, right bikes, isn't it? Right
Yeah,
bikes.
they announced earlier on today that they are looking to do a wind-up order for Rich Energy. And if anyone hasn't seen the logos, I'm putting them on screen now. This is why it went to court.
Yeah.
These are the two logos side by side. The one on the left is clearly marked Rich Energy, and the one on the right is White.
So
Gee.
right, so
now we can see why they went. Yes, Rich have got those extra couple of horns sticking out, but that is blatant rip-off. I haven't seen as much of blatant rip-off since Vanilla Ice did Ice Ice Baby using Under Pressure.
So we should say that in Canada, I believe Rich Energy told Haas to take their stags off the car
Yes.
because they just lost a court case quite badly. It should be said. They just lost a court case quite badly. I believe the owner turned up to be a witness, and the judge wasn't very impressed with him. I think he came out and said that they'd made 90 million cans or whatever. And she asked him a question, and he admitted they'd made 90 million cans. They just haven't filled them yet, or put them in, or sold them yet. So, my question is, what is Rich Energy then?
For those who haven't seen the original tweet, I'm just sorting out something here. This is the original tweet that was sent. So, today at Rich Energy terminated our contract with Haas F1 for poor performance. We aim to beat Red Bull Racing, and being behind Williams Racing in Austria is unacceptable. The politics and PC attitude in F1 is also inhibiting our business. We wish the team well. Hashtag F1, hashtag Rich Energy. That's the tweet.
There was something else that said... I think there was something else said there. Apparently, they didn't want to be sponsoring a milk float that was slower than a Williams car, and something about PC and F1.
Yes, I definitely saw that.
It's I bet Williams are laughing right now, aren't they? Let's be honest.
Oh, on sponsors, Rockets have confirmed the rest of their sponsorship this year. Williams.
They really
They've
have.
extended it, haven't they? They've extended it, haven't they, for another 2 years? From 3 to 5, yeah.
Well, as long as Kubitza's there was the point. So it could be one race.
Have you got a follow-up statement from Rich Energy on Twitter?
I haven't, but I can dig that up if you bear me a second. Let me just go to Twitter and get that. So I literally screenshotted that one a little bit earlier. So give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves.
Is this the one where he says, following a board meeting of Rich Energy Limited, chaired by CEO William Story, and in light of the treacherous conduct of minority stakeholders?
No, this is one before. This is the official bit saying how that was sent. It wasn't them that said that. We're still part of Haas.
I'm sorry, I've jumped the gun there, lad. I'm sorry, mate. I've jumped the gun.
That's all right.
Let's have a look. Tweets. I just want tweets. I don't want tweets and replies. I know there's this one here. You're going to have to bear with because I'm actually logged into, so I'll just transition it, which is following board meeting of Rich Energy Limited chaired by CEO William Story, and in light of the treacherous conduct of minority stakeholders, the exclusive rights to distribute Rich Energy have been transferred to another company. Mr. Story retains complete ownership.
Boys,
No,
into
not
a
that.
champagne glass.
That was that was 14 hours ago. So let's have a look at the other one we're talking about here. Yeah, I've got a statement.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. Actual situation. Let's see if I can bring that up. Come on, give me a picture.
Yeah, the
Right.
statement from the Rich Energy shareholders.
Well, I've got
Was that
something
when
else
they
on here. So it's this. Dear Mr. Watson, sponsorship agreement dated 21st of October 2018 as amended by First Amendment agreements, blah, blah, blah. We act on behalf of Haas, who have asked that we write to you following your email to Gunter Steiner yesterday. Our client's position vis-a-vis Rich Energy Limited and Mr. Story is as set out in the open
There you go.
letters,
I've tweeted you
copies of which are attached. We understand you're seeking to take control of the company away from Mr. Story, current CEO. If it comes to pass, their clients will be happy to engage without prejudice conversations with you, but they will need to set clear and unambiguous evidence that Mr. Story has been removed as a director of the company and that a new CEO has been validly appointed in his place. Given the information available at company's house on Rich Energy Limited includes its shareholder base, we are somewhat at a loss as to how you'll be able to wrestle control of the company from Mr. Story. Furthermore, there is an outstanding claim for damages against the company for copyright infringement in relation to its logo, so that our clients are rightly concerned about the solvency / ongoing viability of the company. We look forward to hearing from you. Yeah, that's
Also
from,
retweeted you the one I was on about.
let's have a look at that. Turn to a proper news one here. Did you retweet it to T1 or did you retweet it to me?
I
personally?
retweeted to both.
Perfect. I've got the T1 one.
Yep.
There we
Well
go.
done, lad.
Thank you, lad. I'll put that up on screen now. There we go. So, statement from Rich Energy shareholders. 11th of July 2019, London, UK. The shareholders who own the majority of Rich Energy would like to clarify certain statements to have been circulated in the media from an unauthorized source. We wholeheartedly believe in the Haas F1 team, its performance, and the organisation as a whole, and we are fully committed to the current sponsorship agreement in place. We also completely believe in the product of Formula One and the platform it offers our brand. Clearly, the rogue actions of one individual have caused great embarrassment. We are in the process of legally removing the individual from all executive responsibilities. They may speak for themselves, but their views are not those of the company. The incident is very regrettable. We will not be making further comments on this commercially sensitive matter and will be concluding it behind closed doors. We wish to confirm our commitment to the Haas F1 team, Formula One, and to thank the Haas F1 team for their support and patience whilst this matter is dealt with internally.
This would make
Wow.
such a good documentary right now, wouldn't it? Do you mean if Netflix, you've got the wrong year. Come back. Come on, go in. How amazing is it? Do you know what I mean? Just
This is nuts, though. How's it ended up like this?
well, because nobody knows where the money's coming from. Nobody, and they obviously you don't see them in the shops, do you? You don't see Rich Energy in the shops, do you? You see Red Bull, you see the home brand, the shop's own make. You see Monster, you see all that. And now they've tried to copy something, and it's all gone wrong.
Speaking of copying, I've just checked the chat. Tesla, I'm about to make a podcast called Turn 2 Podcast. Everything would be the same as your layout, except 2, not 1. Love it. Absolutely love it.
He's got it nailed down, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's got it nailed down.
Oh, dear.
Well, they said, didn't they, when they signed with Haas, that they wanted to be, challenging Red Bull. And yet, like I said, Williams must be laughing right now because they ditched Williams, didn't they, for Haas. And in Austria, the Williams was clearly a quicker car.
Was Rich on Williams last year?
No, they were going to sign a deal. Williams had him at a Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Like laid everything on for them. They were basically, the contract was about to be signed, and then I think it was 2 weeks later, the next circuit, it was Haas and Rich Energy. Rich Energy have done a deal.
Wow. I mean, here's the thing: can Haas get a break? It's just been one of those seasons so far for them, isn't it? Really.
Their car is like the Mercedes from 2014, good in qualifying, but dog awful in the race.
It's not that great in qualifying, though, is it?
No,
Well, it wasn't
P15,
today, it wasn't today.
P16, wasn't it?
Yeah, it went good today.
Or last week.
All the week before.
Well, Magnussen was P5, wasn't he, in Austria?
Yeah, but he soon fell down the grid, didn't he?
He had a penalty.
He had a penalty, didn't he?
Yeah.
He had a penalty to start off with. So, yeah, then he just fell backwards and backwards and backwards.
Yeah.
Maybe it was quicker for him to go in reverse.
The first F1 car to finish in reverse.
It's quite bad, though, isn't it, for a Ferrari engine to be dead, well, pretty much dead last.
It's clearly not the Ferrari engine that's letting that car down, is it, really?
But you could say the same thing about Williams and the Mercedes engine.
Yeah, it's the aerodynamics and the chassis of
Two-
the Williams that are letting that one down.
Too much drag, too much weight. Yeah.
Well,
You
Williams
can
have...
see Williams is undrivable, whereas the Haas, like you say, qualifies well. How can something qualify 5th and then race to 19th?
The trouble with Haas is they've been struggling to control their tyre deck, haven't they? They're one of the teams that went to Pirelli, one of the 5 to say they wanted to change back to the 2018 spec of tyre. Going back to the last podcast, if you noticed, all Ferrari manufacturing customer engines plus the Honda customer the Honda customer engines wanted the old spec. All the Mercedes and Renault ones kept the new spec.
It was a ploy by Red Bull, wasn't it? Because their car was struggling, and obviously Toro Rosso are the B team, so they were like, "Yeah, we want the other tyres, but the tyres you've got, get on with it."
Yeah,
simple as that, really.
Absolutely. So where do we see? Will we see Rich Energy still on the car? Because obviously, with this wrap-up order that's gone on as well, this wind-up order for Rich Energy, where do we see Rich Energy on the Haas? Do we see it beyond Silverstone? Do you think that'll be it? Or do we see it to Hockenheim and then at the end of the break when we come back from Spa, it's off?
I'm going to compare it to football now. It's like a football club, and like you got the fans, so you got the Haas fans, and they've obviously got a sponsorship which nobody wants. It's like football when you've got an owner that nobody wants. It's caused Haas more trouble than what is probably worth having them as a sponsorship. So I would say it'll be gone by the end of the year.
I reckon mid-season break,
Yeah, especially if the CEO business is not cleared up, it'll be gone very quickly.
Yeah, and here's the thing from today. So to add to more drama, this is I'll put it back up on the screen. This is blooming. I go on here and it's got a blooming GDPR thing. Not GDPR. Anyway, So White Bikes have threatened to wind up Rich Energy and petition for the bankruptcy of CEO William Story over unpaid legal costs. Sort of advertisement. Hang on.
That's obviously because of the court case.
That's the perfect time. I've taken away the adverts now. Yeah, earlier this year, Rich Energy, the Haas F1 team's title sponsor, was taken to court by White Bikes for going to copyright their stag logo. They lost the case and were ordered by the judge to cover White Bike's legal costs with more financial damages to follow. As yet, though, Rich Energy, together with Story and logo designer Staxo Web, haven't paid the bill. A statement from White Bikes read on 27th of June, High Court in London made various orders against the defendants, Rich Energy, William Story and Staxo Web. One of the orders was that they should pay White, ATB Sales, costs totalling £35,416 by the 11th of July. The defendants have failed to pay any of the costs awarded. Each of the defendants is jointly liable for the whole amount of the costs awarded. ATB will now be forced to take appropriate action to recover the costs that have been awarded. This may include application to the court to wind up both Rich Energy and Staxo Web and petition for the bankruptcy of Mr. Story. The statement from White Bikes comes from the midst of Rich Energy's ongoing drama with Haas F1 team. So this broke today. What do we think? It's just all over the place, isn't it?
It is.
It's got more twists and turns than a blooming episode of Coronation Street.
Yeah, it's a big giant mess that Haas and F1 does not need.
Does F1 need something like football do, where they check the books of potential sponsors before it's announced to stop this going on in the future?
They may have to.
Mind you, talking about sponsors, when we come to a possible, cap on how much we can spend in F1, how is that going to affect sponsors? Because it works out there's competition, isn't there, to be the Mercedes sponsor or the Ferrari sponsor. So if they get more sponsorship money than the cost cap, that's interesting, right?
Excuse me, clearing throat. Yes.
So sponsors are going to come under some scrutiny, I imagine, over the next few seasons anyway.
They've said to the teams, haven't they, from next year, you can, if you throw us your book, your accounting box, we can check it ready for 2021. So I want to see if any team takes it offer up.
Because they've not really mentioned sponsors, have they?
No. All they've said was it's budget cap of 175 million, and then you can have, depending on what kind of team you are, you've got obviously your engines, travel, and everything else in a separate part, and that will cost up to say £75 million, depending on what team you are.
Yeah.
So I would say that Ferrari and Mercedes and probably Red Bull will be spending 250 million a year.
But then if they pay that and Force India or Racing Point only get the 50 million in sponsors, it's still more money. And Mercedes aren't paying anything anymore because it's all through sponsorship. So it's not really going to help, is it? The struggling teams coming in because they're not going to be paid enough, which is the point of the cost cap.
The debate.
I think it needs to be made clearer, doesn't it? I think the cost cap and how sponsorships is going to work is going to be made clearer.
Because this is going to come up again, isn't it?
And
something's going to be given.
Tough one, isn't it? Tough one. So,
because obviously, like you say, though, McLaren buy engines off Renault, Racing Point buy engines off Mercedes. How do they factor that in?
Yeah. I suppose that's the stuff that's going on behind the scenes that we're not going to find out for another, month or two?
2 months, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, until we actually
If it gets done then, to be fair, because the drivers aren't happy, the teams aren't happy, the FIA aren't happy. It's not much of a deal, is it?
No. It's that whole
Nobody
thing.
likes it.
They wanted 150, didn't they? The teams originally, it was 150 million. So
then it went up to 175, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's that whole
then
thing.
Then it was going to start 175 million, work its way down to 150 million, and that was rejected. So
yeah,
I wouldn't surprise me if it's shot out again. Do you know what I mean, before the end of the year?
Yeah, it's that whole thing from what we said in the last podcast on Austria, with the budget caps and with the direction that F1's going, and then with Bernie bringing his 2 pence in. Yeah, and it was just being I think that's one thing we'll have to leave and probably discuss closer to the summer break, if I'm honest. What about the other big news? The good bit of big news that broke was about Silverstone and the circuit signing up for another 5-year deal, guys. The home of F1. What are your thoughts?
Very good piece of news, really.
Yeah.
We love Silverstone. Yeah, we love the fact that we have a home Grand Prix.
Yeah,
it's a lovely track. Yeah, I'm glad they've actually seen sense and worked out a deal that Silverstone can afford to.
Agreed. Will?
Depends what else is in this contract. Eddie Jordan again was saying earlier about the race in London. He's completely off the cards. However, F1 are like it will be here for 2022.
They said that they won't compete with the race in London. It's going to be two separate events.
Right, and a lot of fans save up all year to go to one event.
Yeah.
Silverstone are not going to be happy because, let's face it, they're expensive to go to, as I found out, because I couldn't obviously attend. Secondly, it's still taking money off them. Because some people go down to London that live in London, and it'll be a lot cheaper to go to. And it could be a more exciting race.
But isn't that thing that we had a discussion about a few races ago about the balance of street circuits to permanent racetracks?
Oh, yeah, as fans that we are, we want to see it at Silverstone.
Yeah.
But the more
You a fan?
newer fan, younger fan, they're going to go to London, aren't they?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Seeing the F1 cars go through the XL Centre would be a nice little gimmick.
Yeah.
But yeah, we want a proper track.
So yeah, the 5-year deal's great, but what else is in that contract and what's coming up? I'd be interested to find out.
And if they're getting a cheaper pro, charging F1 or F1 are paying them a little bit less, are they going to translate that to ticket prices? Maybe.
No.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Well, let's face it. Something's they're definitely making some money, aren't they? Because they might complain about the circuit, but this is one of the blueprints of what's going to appear on the on the start finish straight. This is the hotel that they're talking about, the Hilton. That's going to be built there. It's on screen now. It's replacing a couple of the stands between club and up to and the main straight. That's why you see at this precise moment a couple of stands without the tops on because they're ready to be taken down at the end of the year.
Wow.
There we go.
See, that's what my mate's doing.
Although I'm a little bit concerned about the McLaren being off the track on this. Because the track is clearly to the right. Come on. If you're going to design it, put the cars on the track.
Did you hear that as well, what the drivers have said? The start-finish line is actually less wide. And they reckon it's because Silverstone have been a bit mean on paying for the resurfacing. They've basically made it thinner, so they don't have to pay so much.
Really?
Yeah. So I think there's about, I don't even know what the drivers quoted now. They said it was visibly thinner start-finish line and a few other places. Which is very interesting. Club corner was supposed to be less wide as well. And of course, there's still loads of bumps in it, as most of the drivers said in the. Still not happy with it.
The thing is that you're never gonna have the perfect track, are you? You're never gonna have the perfect road surface, the perfect corner. If they're gonna complain about everything, if it was just a mile-long drag strip, they'll go, "It's not enough kinks." It's not enough turns. They're going to moan about something, and these are the best drivers in the world. They should really be going, I love the fact that there's challenges on the road. We're going to do this.
It wasn't for the F1 cars, though, is it? It's for the bike racing.
Yeah, it's for the MotoGP, not for the F1.
And if the F1 cars are feeling the bumps, the motorbikes sure are. So they've resurfaced it for, at the moment, seems no reason whatsoever. They've made it exactly the same.
I'm a little bit concerned about this picture here, about the fact that there's like proper skid marks on the cars that have been driving down here. It's like, what the hell? These people have never seen a Formula One race or any motorsport racing at all. Honestly.
No. Katie, no, is the answer to that question.
Yeah. What the bloody hell? If anyone's listening to the podcast and thinking, what are we going on about? Go onto YouTube. Episode 10 will be up on YouTube. Have a look at it and see what you think. Yeah.
Tesla makes a good point in the chat, though.
Go on.
Tesla says conspiracy theories would say the Silverstone contract agreed a while ago, but they didn't announce it till this week to help ticket sales, i.e. could be the last one.
Of course it was.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Of course it was. I think it was Will who said it. It was done about a few weeks ago, and he was the one that called it. It wasn't going to be announced until this weekend.
It's always the same, though, isn't it? It's always when a track is in its last couple of
Marketing.
years, they always
That's
do
basic
it
marketing.
during the weekend it's there.
That's how you sell it, right?
This is the
Yeah.
last ever Turn 1 podcast. Oh, wait, no, there's another one next week. Actually, it's
The
not
Grand
next week, it's the
Tour.
week after.
The Grand Tour did it best. You remember that last episode, Will?
Oh god, yeah. That was
How
brilliant, though.
sad and how sad and that Jeremy Clarkson that was. But it's like, oh, but we're still not complete it. Well, even after someone went, oh, don't go, and when they said about the changes,
Yeah.
so they did exactly the same thing.
And it works. That's how you sell things, people. Like I'd do that. Will Stoker is available on many platforms. Hashtag clues in the name. But yeah,
Clues in the
it's
name.
obvious business sense, right? You don't announce it until, well, you've sold it.
Excuse
Because
me
it
a
makes it
second.
feel a lot more special.
Same with Monza, innit? We'll wait till Monza and then they'll go, oh, we've got a new 5-year deal.
Yeah. I think Monza's safe. They're not going to let that one go. Silverstone is now safe. We always said about the other tracks. Germany and Spain, I think, are gone. They're goners.
Well, Germany's got the money in it. It had the money last year because Mercedes paid for this year and the funding for next year. Sorry.
Yeah,
So
there's German teams as well.
So my thing could be Mexico.
See, as a track, I like Mexico.
Yeah, I do like Mexico as well.
The stadium section in that final bit's lovely. So slow and it's surrounded by people. That's got to be amazing to drive through. I don't want to lose Mexico. I'd rather lose Brazil.
Well, apparently that's going to Rio, for what we've heard as well.
Well, I read this the other day. So F1 sources, can you do inverted commas tracker when I say that? F1 sources have told the BBC that they have doubts about it going to Rio.
Yeah, there's loads of political and money issues, isn't there?
I say just keep it at Sao Paulo. To be honest, and to keep it into Lagos.
Yeah, but that track's not great for overtaking, really.
Yeah, that track's been thing me. Yeah, that track's. It's kind of
had its
like
time.
Monaco. Yeah, it's had its time. The cars are far too powerful for it now.
What, you get overtakes on the start finish into the first corner, maybe. Everywhere else too twisty, unless it's a much faster car. I don't like Brazil, and the fans aren't turning up to it very much apart from like Ayrton Senna's and such like.
It's a track I love driving on F1 games. I do like driving that track.
I think I'd
But it's not
rather
fit
lose
for
that.
purpose anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which one is it going to be? Hockenheim or Mexico? What are we saying? Final decision.
Hockenheim's going to go.
Hockenheim's going to go. That's
Will?
I don't know.
I
Because
think
F1 do want 26 races.
the thing is, though, I think they'll get rid of Hockenheim because of the attendance falling. And despite the fact that Mercedes is pumping in the money, the attendance isn't there. Whereas Mexico brings in the crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's only been there for 1 year.
Been there 3. But let's face it, Hockenheim, we know old tracks and everything, and I know they're talking about keeping prestige tracks. Hockenheim is not the Hockenheim that I grew up with. It's not the long straights through the woodlands with a couple of chicanes and everything. They butchered that track. Absolutely butchered it. And that's a big turn-off for Formula One.
And hell, I can understand why they butchered it. I really can. It's just, once Hockenheim became that, it's a shell of its former self.
Yeah, it's. I do think it's Hockenheim that will go.
I don't know if Vettel's still in the sport.
Yeah, but
It needs more than just Vettel in the sport to keep Hockenheim.
Vettel in the sport at the minute is zombie Vettel.
Yeah, yeah.
He's not exactly.
It's not helping the sales.
If you
It's
heard
not
his
helping the sales, is he?
Yeah, if you heard his radio calls today, I think I need a little bit more power. So his tone of voice is not urgent enough to do it. He's as if he's on autopilot. He's going to the end of the season.
Yeah,
and I think he'll retire. I think he's done. I don't think he'll be back.
I think purely because he can't get his own way anymore in it.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch the Channel 4 coverage?
I
No.
listened to 5 Live because I was coming home from a driving lesson. So I just listened to 5 Live.
Again, Eddie Jordan with his crystal ball says Hamilton and Vettel will switch end of next year. So you'll have a German driver in a German team.
How Ferrari need a Hamilton kind of driver that's going to, as we said, it's going to be in every department, pushing every department on, like Michael Schumacher was. Would Vettel go to Mercedes?
I think
he's got more chance of going back to Red Bull. He's good friends with Christian Horner. He's good friends with everybody in Red Bull itself. So maybe Hamilton to Ferrari, Verstappen up to Mercedes, and maybe Vettel to Red Bull.
I think it depends where Verstappen goes. If Verstappen stays at Red Bull, Vettel will end up going to Mercedes.
Oh yeah.
I think that picture just explains how Vettel is. Full stop.
He's just not in love with the. He's not in love with the sport, is he? At the minute.
No.
Yeah, because he's not winning. That's the problem.
Ferrari said that it can give him a championship-winning car, and they're not delivering.
But you need to be, as a driver, you need to help. You need to sort of push the team on as well, don't you? I don't think he's doing that.
No, he isn't.
You can only have one championship-winning team though, and one championship-winning car.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rest have to be in contention, and Ferrari for the past few seasons
haven't been in contention.
Really? Yeah.
Well, the way it's going, because of course we'll talk about Silverstone now. Red Bull have just beaten him qualifying, both of them, quite reasonably. So Vettel sitting in 6th. You got Max in 4th, Gasly in 5th. That Red Bull's looking strong.
It's good to see. It's good to see it's coming on.
So he's got to be thinking about where he is.
So I've got the Constructors' Championship up from the official F1 site, and this just shows the Gulf, really. Obviously, you see it at the end of every coverage, but this is the Gulf just on here. Mercedes 363, Ferrari 228. 235, sorry, not 200, 135 points behind Mercedes.
Yeah, we're not even halfway yet.
No.
How ominous is that?
And Red Bull are catching Ferrari.
Yeah.
But then, of course...
I know I'm doing this live. I'm just going to switch over to drivers. There we go. Drivers. Drivers stand... Oh, shut up. Blooming Flash player. There we go. Drivers. So, Hamilton top, 197. Vettel's 4th on 123. 123 points. Verstappen is 3 points in front of Vettel in the Red Bull.
You've still got to say it's pretty close between Hamilton and Bottas.
It's very close between Hamilton and Bottas. That's who the championship fight is going to be between.
And then third and fourth's close.
Yeah, but Vettel is not going to win a championship in Ferrari. In the Ferrari. That's the same reason Alonso left Ferrari. Yes, he left to go to McLaren with the McLaren-Honda partnership that never came out. And
he destroyed the McLaren-Honda partnership, and then last year he was slating the car, wasn't he?
Yeah, so that's why he wasn't in McLaren for this year, and they are in recovery mode with Sainz and Norris. But he had a point. Alonso said Ferrari won't be winning another world championship. He didn't feel the car had it. And think about how many team bosses that Ferrari have had over the last decade. How many team principals have they had?
Yeah, since Luca de Montezemolo has left.
Hmm.
Who's the longest serving now? Is that Christian Horner, perhaps?
It will be, yeah. It will be.
I mean, Toto's a while at Mercedes.
You
So-
could still say that Frank Williams is because he's still the boss.
Yeah.
And he's like 50 years.
Oh, lovely piece on F1 YouTube about Frank Williams, bit of his history and talking about, how he's, why he is, and all that stuff. Do go and check that out. About 4 minutes long, well worth your time. Beautiful piece.
So Frank Williams then is the longest.
Yep.
Serving.
Yeah.
Then it's going to be what's his name, isn't it? Then it will be surely Christian Horner.
Yeah, Christian Horner.
Yeah.
He's been around for ages, hasn't he? I mean, I was watching a thing about on F1 about the top 10 botched starts, and they were talking about number 10, the US Grand Prix with the Michelin Bridgestone issue, and you saw Christian Horner come out of a conference there, bit fresh faced, but he was still head of Red Bull there. So yeah. So let's talk about we talked about circuit and that. Let's talk about what's happened over the race weekends. Let's talk about free practice 1 and what can we say about Grosjean? Honestly, what can we say about Grosjean? He really is, isn't he?
He's a tit, isn't he? Let's be honest. Absolute tit.
Yep. A right one.
Didn't he spin it as well? Have a look. I did do some notes on this.
He spun it, didn't he?
Oh no, he spun it out of the pit lane as well. Not only did he fail in the pit lane, he did it outside the pit lane. It was
so
very poor.
I've never. I mean, there's the picture. Anyone who hasn't seen the footage, this is free practice 1. This is the exit of the pit lane. Honestly. And then the thing is, though, he goes back down the pit lane the wrong way and runs over his front wing.
Yep. Just spin around to go back out. Like, well, he can't reverse in there, so
Kind of sums up Rich Energy as well, doesn't it? Crash and burn.
He then drives out, doesn't he? And then he's doing a slow lap, and the last bit of the front wing falls off while he's going around on the track.
Yeah, like a Petri valve type thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But that for me wasn't the funniest part of FP1.
Go on.
Did you see Kimmy?
When he telling him where to go or something? Was he pointing at something to tell him where to go?
His car conked out, and then he sat on it, steering it, and pointing like a Greek god to like some hole in the fence, and all the other marshals are pushing it, and he's just sat there, like Zeus throwing. If you've not seen it, it's the best thing I've ever seen. He's got one arm on the wheel and one arm on his side, and he's just pointing that way.
I did see this.
Yeah, it's got to be a meme by now. It's the best thing I've seen. Absolutely hilarious. And the Coulthard's right there in the Channel 4 coverage, and he goes up to say something to him, and he just goes, Kimmy. No.
I'm trying to find the image, see if I can find it. I can't find the image. I have got Kimmy, but all I've got is him kind of doing a leap out of the car. So I'll just put that one up instead.
Yeah, did you see Hamilton's pit lane man falling over?
Yes, I heard about that.
That was pretty funny. Nearly ran him over, but it was all good.
It all went on in free practice 1, didn't it? Really?
Pretty much.
Yeah, we get to Britain and it's comedy of errors. Like, what's going on?
It really is.
The Monty Python race of F1.
Williams pit crew doing the fish dance.
Yep. Oh, did you see the F1 show as well before this on Thursday? They got the drivers to play cricket.
No,
I saw Ricardo
saw a little bit of it,
six it right into the fans. Yeah,
yeah. And half of them are like, "What is cricket?" And it was so awkward. Sky have never done a piece to camera.
It was terrible. And like Lewis was there, and they didn't ask Lewis to do it. Vettel. It was just like drivers that you knew were like not worth anything, basically.
My gosh. Oh,
Kiwi
dear.
just rode off. It was so funny. You want to go, Kimmy? He just got on his scooter and went back to the pit lane.
Michael Patterson won. Perfect. Grosjean, idiot of the season, not just the week. And Tesla's just gone in correcting, saying decade. Oh dear. There was a few spins as well, weren't there? A few spins in the free practices because of wind and everything like that. If I'm not mistaken, didn't Russell and Norris spin?
And Leclerc.
Bottas did as
And
well.
Leclerc, Bottas. So we've had an eventful one, really. You said nothing much happened in free practice 3 even. Gosh.
No, free practice 2, Russell had a gearbox issue, and we didn't hear any more about it, so I take it they fixed it.
Mm-hmm.
Danny Rick's engine blew up, which was a spec A, so it's not a penalty or nothing. It was a Friday engine. Concerning there, and Bottas had a spark plug problem reported, but again, nothing's been reported since.
Right.
Well, considering how he ended up in qualifying, seems to be okay.
Exactly. But yeah, that was about it for free practice 2.
That's cool. And let's talk about quali then. So, quali. This man
Williams.
on pole. That's one
Oh,
thing
you're
to
going to
say.
start there.
Well, I'm on the F1 page at the minute, just having a look. But now I'll switch back. Go on, talk about Williams.
Standard, really, for the season. Apparently, there's light at the end of the tunnel, but I don't see it.
It'll be up. These upgrades that come in Hockenheim could help Williams, but they're too far back, aren't they? That's the thing.
Russell was 1.6 seconds behind qualifying 1 at some point, which isn't that bad, to be fair.
So, Russell qualified on a 127.789. Kubica qualified on a 128.257. Looking at the times that were set by the pole sitter, pole times were 125.093. That was a pole time. The top time in Q1 was 125.513 by Hamilton.
Yeah, what was it? Qualifying record went in qualifying 1 as well, not Q3 to start off with.
It
Showing
did go.
how yeah.
It did go with that 125.513. That was the qualifying record, and then obviously Bottas has got the qualifying record 125.093. It's been a long week, guys. Come on, give me a little bit of a break. It's 9:52.
I was going to say, you're right. He seems
Yeah,
to be struggling today.
He's streaming a button, isn't he?
I've had a full 40-hour week with travel time in between my lessons. I'm absolutely shattered, but I'm still here. I did well in the race. Let's face it. And I've had to listen to this on 5 Live. It's the first time I haven't watched a quali, so I've been listening to it. But I mean, who are your standouts at quali? Who would you say the standout ones are?
Norris again?
Yeah.
Albon.
Yeah. Look at that. P8 and P9. Norris P8, Albon P9.
Danny Rick wasn't too bad, to be fair, either.
P7.
Yeah.
And Gasly's, pulled his game together for this, at least.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was quicker, wasn't he, than Verstappen, and then he got to qualifying, and then Verstappen was quicker than him.
It's not much of a difference, though, is it?
No.
1 point. Oh, I can't work that out.
0.224 of a second.
Closest he's been all year, so that's probably positive.
Yeah.
Tracker, just quickly, have you got your Discord open?
Yes.
Have you seen a couple of pictures I've just sent you?
I've seen one. What are you sending me? Oh,
Oh my god.
Are they unsolicited?
Yes, of course, Lard. They're the best pictures, aren't they?
hang on. I'll show you what he sent me. They
Go
are.
on. I knew.
Gosh. Which one are you?
I'm not going to say which one's me.
Fine.
What's he
That,
saying?
that was 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago. If you're going with that picture first, which I assume you are.
Yeah, I am. I'm just getting it sorted. Bear with me a second. I'm getting it lined up so I can put it on the stream.
Woohoo!
There we go. Yes, Henry's the one hiding behind the flag.
Hold on. I'll have to have a look.
That's why we can't see him.
No.
You're hiding behind the flag.
He's not Ipsy height, you know.
Thank you. See? Yeah. 2 years ago, that was.
Oh, yeah.
2 years ago today.
So which one are you?
The one behind the flag.
You're
2 years
kidding.
ago.
I actually got that right.
You got it right, yeah. Yeah, 2 years ago today. Behind the flag.
That was a guess. I actually just made that up for a joke, but I actually got it right. Right, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, 2 years ago today.
Jesus.
Nice.
Sat in their canteen, had dinner.
Clang.
Cutlery.
Name drop. It's been one of those episodes today, isn't it? I think that's going to be the stream title. Name drop.
Name drop.
The other one that he sent me, let me see if I can get that one up. It was actually quite a nice one, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it was.
Open original. I'm going to make this one work. Come on, zoom in. I can't make that one work. This is just a snapshot, but I've got a couple of the cars. This is Senna's cars.
Liveries in 2017 cars.
Yeah. So I'll do this, and then we've got to do predictions because we are running out of time. So these are the cars here. So you've got his Lotus.
Oh, wow.
They look good, don't they? I like the McLaren.
Yeah, the McLaren now looks very nice.
That does look nice. If I can, in fact, what I will do is if I just select, I'll just select the internets again. Let's move that. Come on, behave. Come on, behave.
I mean, I've been privileged to stand in front of
I'm moving my...
Nigel Mansell's old Williams for, I think it's like the 1988 season.
So if I move that up a little bit, you'll see if I just transition it. There's the Williams Renault, as it would look as well.
Oh, that looks nice as well.
And then we've got
I wonder how the old, like the Williams from 91, 92 would look.
I know, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? So,
predictions.
Let's do the predictions, shall we? We'll have a look at the scorecard before we go on to the actual predictions. So, I'm just going to studio mode. There we go. So, after 8 rounds, the totals look like this. So, Waffle's kind of just drifting off there, but he'll stay as 6th on the board. Simple as that. It's basically the top 5 that we're looking at. So, myself, I've got 36.5. Jay has 29.5. Lard has 30, half a point in front. Will, 45.5. And Henry, 30.5. And that's how it stands after 8 rounds. So, let's have a look at predictions. Let me get a piece of paper and a pen, because I'm so organised today.
So professional as always.
Absolutely. I'm a fucking amateur and I am proud to admit it. GB.
That's all right for the day.
1, 2. There's the explicit one. BOR FL and IDIOT. Idiot. If anyone puts tracker as idiot.
Was that double points?
Triple points, surely.
I'm not saying anything, he'll take points off me.
Oh.
Miserable git.
That's Mr. Miserable Git. Thank you very much. actually, it'll be something completely different by the end of the year because I know what my in-laws are getting me for presents for an anniversary present. Lordship, and don't say it's not a divorce.
I was going to go, what, a smile? What?
Sod off! Bloody hell! God damn it! Honestly. Okay.
I told you, Lard. I said that Lard is the one in the control of this podcast, and nobody listened to me. Do you know what I mean?
What I think I've just put in the podcast, the rundown.
Oh God, what have you put in the rundown?
I'll say nothing. Well done. I love it.
Do you know
that should be the title. That should be the title of the podcast right now.
That's me with no points.
Hang on, what? The title of the podcast is Sex Change Tracker. There you go, guys. That's what's on there. That's what's on the rundown. Anyway, right. Let's go through what predictions we got. Jay's already posted his, so we're going to go through that first whilst everyone else can think about theirs. So, what have we got predictions? Jay has gone for Hamilton, Bottas, and Leclerc. He's gone best of the rest is Danny Rick. Fastest lap is Vettel. And Idiot of the Week, Rich Energy collectively, or failing that, Lando Norris. So it has to be Norris. Right. Who wants to start us off this week?
I could. I've got mine sorted.
Okay, lad, go for it.
So first, Bottas.
Bottas.
Second, Leclerc.
Yeah.
Third, Hamilton.
Yeah.
Best of the rest, I think, is Norris.
Yeah.
Fastest lap, Hamilton.
Yeah.
And Idiot of the Week is Grosjean.
Grosjean makes it back into the Idiot of the Week. Will or Henry, who wants to go?
I'll go.
Will,
Okay,
go for it.
Hamilton first.
Yeah.
Bottas second.
Yeah.
Verstappen third.
Yeah.
Best of the rest is Mr. Norris.
Yeah.
Idiot of the Week. Obviously Grosjean.
Yeah.
Fastest lap is a difficult one to call. It's all quite close, so I'm going to... Gasly.
Gasly.
Ooh.
Right. Henry.
First, Hamilton.
Yeah.
Second, Bottas.
Yeah.
Third, Leclerc.
Yeah.
Idiot of the Week, Grosjean.
Yeah.
Fastest lap, Vettel.
Yeah.
Best of the rest, I'm going to go with Ricciardo. Just over Norris.
Right. So I'm going to go Bottas first. I'm going to go Hamilton second. I'm going to go Verstappen third. Best of the rest is Norris. Fastest lap, I'm going to go with Verstappen. And Idiot of the Week has to be Romain Grosjean, who will probably be out of a drive by the end of the season.
Michael Patterson said, Grosjean an idiot. I refuse to accept that with a laughing face. I've just signed Roman Grosjean for the on my motorsport manager game.
I feel so sorry for you, mate.
I've called it Tom One Racing, so I'm perfectly fine, to be honest.
Speaking of things that are going on, before we leave the podcast, we are starting to expand a little bit more on what we're doing under turn one. Will, do you want to quickly talk about what you're doing?
No.
There we go. Henry, do you want to talk about what you're going to be doing?
Well, it's just motorsport madness with a disclaimer with an F1 mod from with the teams from 2018. And trying to maybe start my own team instead of maybe starting with Salvo Williams and seeing if I can get them to the front of the grid.
There we go. Will's will stay secret. There we go.
It's already out there.
It's
Look
already.
That's a reason to go to our YouTube channel. There you go.
Absolutely.
It is.
Go to our YouTube channel. So to wrap up, let's talk about it. You can find us on Twitter at Turn One Podcast. You can find us on YouTube. If you type in Turn One Podcast, because we haven't hit 100 subscribers yet, because we've only got 9. Perfect. Thank you for subscribing, guys. Like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. It's all there. Just Google, go into YouTube, type in Turn One Podcast. You'll find our channel. It's all there. You can find us on Facebook at Turn One Podcast. You can find us on Podomatic, Turn One Podcast. You can download it from us from iTunes, and you can fucking hell, I've screwed that up. You can also email us podcastturnone@gmail.com. That break music was totally appropriate. Gentlemen, thank you very much for all your contributions tonight. Thank you very much for putting up with me.
That's okay, dude.
All of our crosses to bear.
Oh, yeah. They've got to put up with me for another 11 weeks before the end of the season. Until next time round, we will see you at the German Grand Prix just after qualifying show. Have a good one. Thank you ever so much if you're in the chat for all your contributions and watching. Until next time, we'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.